All right. So as the news report said, there's no audio here, which is unfortunate because often the audio helps us identify precisely when shots are being fired. And of course, we don't know what the two men are saying to each other, what kind of threats are being made. So we have to speculate a little bit about that. But it does effectively capture the shooting. So here we have Jason Pass on the left in the dark jacket. Mathurin is standing in the doorway there. I guess he puts a white T-shirt on before he comes out. We'll see Mathurin's stepson come out into the hallway as well. So here we go. There's 2 minutes of video here, folks, and it takes about a minute for anything really to happen, but I wanted to share the entirety of it with you. So we do need to perhaps be a little patient. All right, here we go. Well, I guess as long as we're waiting, you get your own lawofselfdefense.com mug, folks. We make these mugs. They're lovely mugs available to whoever might be interested. And I thought I had a little banner for that. I do. Here we go. Get your own. They make lovely gifts. Holiday season's coming. So Mathurin went back into his apartment. Here's, I guess, a woman he lives with. Mathurin's now got, that's the stepson. A lot of joring going on. Jason Pass is talking. They're talking back. As these things tend to go. Here comes Mathurin now. He's got his white T-shirt on, and he's got a pair of scissors in the hand. He'll handle this, he tells his wife, or whoever that is. Very aggressive here. Closes on Jason Pass. Jason Pass doesn't close on him. Fights his own woman away, pointing these scissors in the and the gun comes out. There's the gun with the boom, first shot, shots into the stepson. At least 1 or 2 shots when he's on the ground. And here we have an execution style shot. Pop. And he's at the elevator, which arrives. Sorry for the gruesome nature of the clip, folks, but that's the way the world is. The stepson's still breathing there, but not for long. And that's it. That's pretty much the entirety of the video. All right. So let's talk a little bit about New York State use of force law. Because it is a little different than most of the country, primarily because New York State is one of the last remaining 11 states that are duty to retreat states. That do impose a legal duty to retreat before you can use deadly force in self-defense. So we often talk about the 5 elements of self-defense. These are the defining foundations of any claim of self-defense or defense of others, no matter what state you're in, these fundamental principles. If you're not familiar with these, you can't possibly understand use of force law. You can learn them in detail in plain English with our book, Law of Self-Defense Principles, at lawofselfdefense.com/free book. But the 5 principles are innocence, imminence, proportionality, avoidance, and reasonableness. Now, avoidance is the duty to retreat question. Do you have a legal duty to retreat before you can use deadly force in self-defense? If you do, if you're in a jurisdiction that imposes that legal duty to retreat, you have as one of your requirements of lawful self-defense this element of avoidance. 39 states do not impose a legal duty to retreat in otherwise lawful cases of self-defense. So in 39 states, in otherwise lawful cases of self-defense, you only have 4 elements, not 5, because you don't have the element of avoidance. You have innocence, imminence, proportionality, and reasonableness. But New York State is one of those 11 duty to retreat states. So in New York State, you have all 5. In terms of all 5 elements, innocence asks whether or not you are the initial aggressor in the confrontation. Self-defense is not intended to justify force by an initial aggressor or a mutual combatant. Imminence has to do with whether or not the threat you're defending yourself against is either actually occurring or immediately about to happen, as opposed to being a threat in the past that's over or speculative threat in the future. Proportionality has to do with the intensity of the force you're defending yourself against. You can really only use deadly force in self-defense if you're facing a deadly force threat. Avoidance, we've already discussed, has to do with this question of whether there's a legal duty to retreat before you can use deadly force in self-defense. There is here. And then the question becomes, well, did you violate that legal duty? And reasonableness, where your perceptions, your decisions, your actions in self-defense, those not only made in the genuine good faith subjective belief that you needed to use that force to defend yourself, but would a hypothetical, reasonable, and prudent person have shared that subjective belief? Would your subjective belief also be objectively reasonable? Because a genuinely held but irrational or speculative belief in the need to act in self-defense is not enough. That belief also has to be objectively reasonable.